All right, what I'm going to do now is show you some of the different things you can do with the Microsoft Edge browser. Now make sure that you have the most recent one. If you have the older one, it will have a solid blue E. The newer version of Edge actually has something that looks like more of a turquoise wave. All right. So typically you get on a website like this and you want to read the story and you see all this other garbage, that's kind of mixed in, kind of makes it a little irritating. Well, one of the things that they have is Immersive Reader. And when you click on this, as long as you see what looks like a book that's open, now you can click on it. Of course, it can read it to you, whatever it is you want to do. But notice how it takes away. Now, I'm going to make some changes here shortly, and I'll show you how we do it instead of just scrolling. So you notice all the ads are gone. Now, you can have it read it to you.
스토어 마우인 PUB 고어즈 스노드인 포스리 데이지의 UK즈 하이어스트.
Okay, that's a Korean reading in English, okay? So you have different options you can go to, right? So let's say that we want to go down and let's go ahead and let's do English United States. If you want to use a female, you can use a female. If you want to use a male, in this particular one, you can.
Highest in. Dozens of people have been snowed in at the highest pub in the United Kingdom for 3 nights after the country.
Okay, so maybe it's like, hey, this is one out of England. Maybe I want to have it done in United Kingdom, and what you can do here.
Country was hit by Storm Arwen. Copyright symbol co-owner Michael Kenny. Visitors to the Tan Hill Inn were trapped by heavy snow.
Okay, that's the voice options, okay, the read aloud. Now there's some other things we can do with it also. You want to change your text. Let's just say maybe the text isn't big enough. You can make it larger. If you want to do the spacing a little bit different, let me bring it back here. You can change the spacing. Whatever makes it comfortable for you to read. If you like a different font, you can change that. If you want to widen, there you go. You get a little bit wider of a screen. Now, some page themes. This is the kind of thing I like because I like learning in like dark mode, kind of easier on the eyes. So I'll go with something like this. Or you can switch it to this, gives a little bit less of a brightness to it, and you have all these other different options that you can use, whichever one's your preference, okay? So we'll set it back to default here. Now there are grammar tools here. If you want to learn how to pronounce a word, make sure that you have the syllables correct. You can do this. It will break it down by syllables, like it did right up here. Surprisingly, it didn't do it down. Yeah, it did it here. Okay, yes, it did. I kind of missed that. All right. So you can turn that off. If you want to see all of them that are nouns, and you can change it to whatever color you want, you can select this. It will show you all that are nouns, and that's what the end above it is. If you want to see which ones are all verbs, of course, you could do this. Now, you can have them all displayed at once. Just make sure they're different colors. It'll make it a little bit easier on you. So let's say you want to know adjectives, okay? Maybe you don't like the green because here's what happens when you do the green. I mean, it can be seen. Some people like, oh, that wasn't bright enough. I've talked to people that said, no, I didn't really like that. You can go to blue, you can go to red, whatever it is you want to do. Now, if you want to see adverbs, okay? And you notice it'll put the adverbs above it. You can keep it to where it does not show the label as far as, hey, this is an adverb, or you can have it set. That's the only one I've seen that'll change for it. Okay, so that's one of your grammar tools that you can use. And then reading preferences. If you want to focus on 1 line at a time, 3 lines at a time, 5 lines at a time. Of course, obviously, you're going to get down into here. So some people like that. Also, picture dictionary, sorry. I've turned this on before, and you'll come across a word where it's not working now. Oh, you can translate into different languages also. So if you want to read it in a different language, You know, one of the ones I was trained in was Korean. So you can have it actually translate to you in Korean. Of course, I didn't configure it to go. I just kind of stopped there. So I'll go back to English just in case. All right, let me pause this for just a moment. Okay, here's where I was talking about picture dictionary. You can highlight over the word. It'll kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what that picture may look like. And I should have not clicked on that, went too far with it. So, give you an idea what a storm looks like. It's just kind of thing for, especially if somebody, English isn't their first language or it's in a different language, it kind of makes it a little bit easier for them to understand. Okay, here's how we would actually translate. Let's just take it into simple something like, let's go ahead and go to French. And so it'll translate the entire page into French. You can do it in Korean, you can do it in Japanese, many other languages. Okay, another option you have, you can come down here and you can do web capture. You want to capture the full page or you just want to do a certain area, you can do that and capture it that way also. Okay, another thing that maybe you ought to take a good look at. Let's go back to the normal web page, all right? Some people like it like this. Some people want something that's more focused, like maybe like Google Chrome. So you can go to this. This is a little bit more focused. First one I had you on, of course, this is inspirational. You've got informational, and then you got custom. You go custom there, you can turn the background off. You can do the image of the day. You can do the image or video of the day. You can put your own image in there. Or you can actually go to a custom theme using different colors, whatever it is that you choose to do, okay? So really this is the default. So let's say, hey, I want this one here. I go back to it, and now you see that. If you didn't like that, you just go back. You really didn't even have to close it. It changes on its own. So whichever one it is that you're going to like, go with it from there. And again, it's not that hard to change. Right, now here's another setting that maybe you might like here. You go here, this is your content visible, okay? So let's go partially visible. Let's go one more down, let's go headings only. So you got this down here that you can click on, sports, entertainment, science, top stories, and content off. Kind of like a fancy Google Chrome type page. Now by default you have one row of icons. You can actually turn that off, those little shortcuts, or you can actually go to 2 rows so that you get a few extra to put in there. Okay, so that is some of the different settings that we can actually do. I'm going to come up tomorrow with another video on a few other things we can do with Microsoft Edge, and I'm going to try and start adding different things on a daily basis into the video YouTube channel so that we can kind of help you guys through different things that you're working with. Thank you, and I hope this has been informational.